welcome back to another episode of Barbershop Talk Like This. I'm your host, Trey the Barber.
And this year, the host, Dice the Barber.
And today...
we got Alexa here.
Yeah, I forgot. Damn.
Because we ain't got Kush in the building.
Yeah, Kush ain't here. So we got...
Lex.
Filling in for Kush today.
She's our sponsor for today.
Yes, actually. And today in the building, we got my man, super mega producer, Sleep D.
What up?
What's
up
up,
in the
dog?
building. What's
Chillin',
good,
man.
bro?
Chilling.
How you feeling this morning?
Tired.
Yeah, me too. All right, Sleep. First thing we do, we start our show off by saying thank you to God for waking us up this morning,
Amen.
allowing each and every last one of us to be here and to continue to bless all of us in everything that we do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Now, the second thing we do is we start our show off with a shot. You know what I'm saying? Today we drinking on tequila. I'm always drinking on tequila.
Casa Dragones.
Salud. Lex, where you at? You gotta put your phone down. You on the
Come on
podcast,
now.
girl. You can't be Snapchatting and all that
That's
shit.
that millennial shit.
Right. She ain't even got no R&B groups.
I'm an entrepreneur.
All right, well,
I
shit.
understand.
What's
Business
that
is
Y'all-
on hold for the next hour.
Right.
All right, yo. So what's good with the Sleep?
Nothing much, man.
You know what I'm saying? Tell the people a little bit about yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a music producer. Born in Inglewood. Grew up in Bakersfield for the most part. Came back to LA. Was like 17, 18. And just jumped into the music business, man.
Yeah, so I was reading earlier. You got like really started like back in what 05 or something like that with Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, a little bit before that, I was actually working with Purple Ribbon down in Atlanta. Yeah, I went down there for like a year. That was the first thing.
Who Purple Ribbon?
That was Big Boy's label, Outkast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right around the time they was doing like Idlewild and all that stuff, like I was able to like see a lot of that come to life like firsthand. So that's what really made me.
How is it working with Big Boy?
I wasn't working hands on with Big Boy. I was more fly on the wall. It was just like
but just even being in the environment, you know what I'm saying, the creative space.
I'm a big Outkast fan.
That's
so
my
like,
favorite group of all time.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So just even being in there and just like, I remember the first time I seen him, he pulled up in he had like a cranberry colored Phantom. You know, he just pull up.
And this was in what year was this?
It was like 06.
Damn.
Yeah, 05, 06.
I know you was like, Jay, what the fuck? Nigga?
I don't even
Cranberry.
I don't even think I knew what a Phantom was yet, or it wasn't. It was like a Rolls Royce. I don't
You
know
looking like
body.
what the fuck is like? What the fuck is that?
I seen these in rap videos. I thought they burnt them after. You know, these is loud in real life. But yeah, I saw that and like he's just such a boss, and just the way they were putting everything together and that song Kryptonite. You remember that joint?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in.
I'll be on that Kryptonite. I'll be on
Yeah,
that.
that was my shit too.
It's like one of the first songs that I was like around to like see it all come together and then actually see it go from like an idea.
Who
to,
made
like,
that beat?
I can't remember who.
That shit was hard.
Did it,
But when you seen the whole process, like how'd that make you feel?
I was hooked. It was a rap from that.
You was like,
point on,
nigga, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta make something that everybody is gonna go crazy to when they hear it in the club. Cause I'll be at spots in Atlanta and it come on and it just everybody would just go crazy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, that shit come on the club, nigga. It's like,
You play that shit for me right now. Like, I'm be
Still, you know what I'm saying? Still, you know.
You know, this generation they don't have classic music no more. Like, cause they all about moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
That's
What's
what I
the
said. I
next
don't
new
like this
shit?
music. I'm
You know what
telling
I'm saying?
you.
So
Yeah.
it's like nothing ever. Like, first of all,
Makes sense.
they don't study the music that came before them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't even have their own classics nowadays. Like,
I mean,
it's
we got
like,
J. Cole.
You know what I
Yeah,
I
J.
think
Cole-
happened?
J. Cole's cool.
What I think happened is I think that it used to, like music used to have such a regional sound to it. So you had Wu-Tang, right? And they had their thing and RZA would do that. And then you had the West Coast stuff. And then you even had the Midwest stuff. And it all had its own identity.
Right.
And I
Exactly.
think that once the internet kind of like became full bloom, like with social media and stuff, like people in Cali can see how people in New York are dressing and how they're acting, and then they can emulate that. And so I remember when A$AP Rocky first came out, I was like, "Oh, that nigga from Houston is hard." And so somebody was like, "He from Harlem."
Right.
I was like, "Harlem." I'm like, "Nah, he not from Harlem." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, he is from Harlem."
That's like Designer when
You
he
know-
came out because he sounded like he was from Atlanta. 'Cause
Yeah,
he sound like,
yeah, real
he sound like
shit.
Future.
He from Brooklyn, so you know what I
Exactly.
mean. So I think that because everybody's so interconnected, I think that places lost
their identity.
their
Because,
identity
I
a
say
bit,
that a lot. I was like, with the music today, I can't tell if it's from down south or if it's from Chicago or if it's from the West Coast. Like, all that shit sound the same.
Yeah, because
like,
the thing is, Atlanta kind of, they just started popping off.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, okay, shit is starting to change. It's shifting down to this. So if I want to sell, then I need to start doing that. I call it mumble rap. They was like, I need to start doing this mumble rap and have some hot ass beats with a good hook to make motherfuckers go crazy in the club. And now you got a song.
So let me ask you this. So, now I do know that you was listed as one of the top 10 black writers and producers that's actually helping kick off the Korean K-pop sound.
Yep.
So with the monotonous music of hip hop today, is that what made you kind of want to transition over and find a whole different lane and do something new?
Partially. I think too, excuse me, as I started to get a little bit older, I started to kind of get tired of like the environment.
Gotcha.
Being a hip hop producer, because I feel like a lot of times I go to the studio and people treat it like it's a hobby.
Right.
And I'm just like, I'm kind of like, business. Like
Right.
I can kick it and have fun, but I'm here to make a song.
Right.
And so, sorry, allergies crazy.
No worries.
But I'll get to, a studio session and it's like, it's a party.
Right.
And that's fun sometimes. But
Right.
every single night, it's like, I don't know how you get anything done. So that was part of it. I think I had just been kind of doing the same thing for a long time. And
You wanted to challenge yourself?
I went out there. I went to Japan first. And I was running
remember you
around.
was in
Yeah,
Japan.
I think I probably came and got a cut from you before I went. And I was
That's
in
why I
Japan.
gave them clippers to take care of your face while you was
That's
out there.
exactly when. Yep. And being out there, I remember I was running around. We was having fun. We were going out seeing stuff, and then I'm
Sleep
going
is
to
a
the
chair
studio.
hopper. It's like, nah.
Well, we gonna get into that. We gonna get into that. We gonna get into
All
that.
right, so go ahead.
But I was in Japan, and they had a Tower Records. You remember?
Right.
But it was booming though. Like it was like packed. And I go inside.
Like
I'm
back
like,
in the
why?
day pack.
Yeah, I'm like, why everybody in the store? Like people, and then people's in there buying CDs. And not only that, the CDs was like $40, $50, and I'm just
Shit.
like, yo, and this is crazy. I'm looking at the packaging, and the packaging has like, I mean, they getting like posters, they getting little photo cards, they getting just extras.
You getting your money's worth, basically.
And then also too, I think like you get entered into raffles when you buy it, or you get like first chance to like buy tickets for concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's basically worth it. It's worth your $40 because you never know what's going to end up happening, and it probably was just like a hangout spot for hip hop heads
Yeah, and,
or music heads.
and just seeing people, just the excitement about music. Because I think out here, I think that we got too cool. Like I can leave outside over here where we at right now. You're gonna see somebody famous up
Right.
and down the street.
Right.
But over there, I think that they still hold on to they still hold people with talent in a high regard.
Right.
And
They
still
might
get
see somebody
excited.
tall and black out there, and they be like, "Oh, he must do something."
So how did you work yourself into that space? You know what I'm saying, to get that opportunity?
So when I was out there, I did a couple sessions, and that was like the first time of me trying it out. And it was the Japanese pop sound. It was pretty chaotic just because it was very theatrical. And by the time we got to the hook, we was at like 4 chord changes, and I'm just like, man, nigga, I'm out of chords. Like I don't even know what I'm doing right now at this point. But the more I studied it, I got like used to it. I went to Korea the following year. It was Memorial Weekend, and at this point, this is like 2016.
Right.
I had kind of hit like a low spot in my career. I lost like a ton of money because I don't know if y'all remember I was doing that tech company, the app I had. And stuff.
Yeah.
I poured a lot of money into that, and we got to a point where we almost sold it, and I ended up taking a 6-figure loss, and stuff was rough around the time.
Right.
But I just kind of was like, it's bounce back time. I'm gonna do anything that come my way, and I'm gonna kill it, right? And it was Memorial Weekend 2016 or 17, and my homie, he was like, we trying to get producers to come out to Korea for this camp, but nobody wanted to go because it's Memorial Weekend. People was like, nigga, I'm going to Vegas. I'm doing this.
I'm going to Miami, nigga. Like,
You
nigga.
niggas missing out on money trying to party.
And so I was like, shit, sign me up.
I'll
And
be
so
there.
I was out 2 or 3 days, 2 days later. And so I went out there with FNC, and shouts out to them because this is like my first experience in Korea. And they took great care of us. It was 5 producers, and we was each responsible for doing just 2 songs a day. But at the end of the week, that's 50 records, right?
Right.
And so in doing that camp, I think I got like 7 placements.
Wow.
And yeah,
big.
so it was just like, man, I started to really like get into it from that point on, and I was just like, not just because it's like it was cool money, because it wasn't. I get paid more up front for tracks here,
Right.
but out there I feel like they buy more songs, and
So
so
that money on
And if
the
you
back
get
end.
and if you get placements, you know, what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. But then I could also try stuff. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like everybody here is scared, so it's like
Right,
people
right.
like they want to be safe, they want to keep their job, or they want to like progress at their job. So they like, I want something that sounds just like whatever the number one song
So
is. on
how
the
is the
radio.
communication over there? You know what I'm saying, for you and
like,
the artist?
yeah,
I mean, do they speak pretty good English? And, you know
not
what I'm saying?
always, not always, but like music is the language. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? And then there's always a translator. You know, people who work at the label speak English, but when you put, it's like if y'all both hoop, but you from Compton and he from Yugoslavia, you get on the basketball court, it's basketball.
Right.
And then they trying to put the ball in the basket. You might have your way of doing it. He might have his Euro step.
So
but
do they
trying to
sing
put
in
it
their language?
They sing in their language, yeah. What happens a lot of times is we'll write the song in English
Got you.
because
then
melody is the most important thing, right?
Right.
So we write the song in English, and then they have writers on their side that translate, and it's not always a direct translation. Sometimes it's like
I get it.
it's loose. So it's
I
just like
figured that.
translating the melody into like something in Korean. that
So
makes sense.
so when they're singing, I mean, as a producer, again, you still working with sound. So even though they singing in a whole different language, you can say like, hold on, cut. Run that
they can
back
sing a
and-
word I'd never heard of, and I can tell you if it's flat or sharp. I'll be like, nah,
Gotcha.
you need to sing that line again. Yeah, you gotta sing that again.
Hey, that's dope.
People like,
You know what I'm saying?
people like, I don't know your language, but it sounds like
Whatever,
you might want to hit that
whatever
one a
you
little bit
said,
better.
that shit wasn't right.
You know,
I need you to go. You know what I'm saying?
one thing for sure, it doesn't matter what language they speak, they understand again, because I'll be sitting there again.
Again.
He said they understand again.
And the thing is, too, regardless of what language they speak, you understand music.
Absolutely.
And it's like,
That's the language.
Nah.
You know, music is language.
Music
That's
is
the
language.
so.
You know what I'm saying? Like, music is definitely language.
Yo.
Yeah, so how was it? So with Black Eyed Peas, how did that whole thing, come about?
I I tell people that situation. I was like one of the first YouTube darlings, like 2006, before everybody was getting on there and trying to go viral. I started jumping on there and I was making like these super awkward beat making videos. Like I would set up, like, you remember the USB cameras?
Right.
You had to
Yeah,
plug
yeah.
it in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would plug that joint in and I would sit there. I wouldn't even, excuse me, I wouldn't even talk. Plug it in, sit there, and just start making a beat. And my videos started getting like 200, 300,000 views and stuff on YouTube, but YouTube was still so new. I didn't really know what was going to happen and what would come from it. But a few people in there reaching out to me. Underdogs, they reached out to me, an R&B production duo. They did lots and lots of stuff. Rodney Jerkins people reached out to me, and they were reaching out like on MySpace and stuff like that, just from having so many views on
You
YouTube.
took it back
right?
to MySpace.
Do you even know what MySpace is?
Dude, I had the embedded codes for MySpace.
Uh-oh.
Like I had
She was
everything.
coded. She had a little sparkly
Yup.
gifs.
Yup, I had
Right, right.
unicorns, something flying up as soon as you came on my profile page, and music
Hilarious.
going.
But see, I use MySpace for music. You know what I'm
Oh.
saying? Remember,
I used to rap.
you can only put a couple songs down on there and shit.
I was
and,
never on MySpace.
I mean,
I
motherfuckers
was
get
still out
mad
in
at
these
you.
streets. I like
People get mad because they not in your top 8 friends and shit.
Oh yeah,
I was starting real
You be like,
deep.
I'm not in your top 8, motherfucker.
I was
Like,
not
nah,
friends with
nigga.
people
Yeah,
because
see,
they
I
took me
never knew
off.
shit about my. I knew everybody was talking about it. I'm like, fuck is this MySpace? They're like, you gotta get on MySpace.
So what you had? Because
So-
Facebook wasn't out at first.
I wasn't on shit.
Oh,
So-
God.
Listen,
I was a
I'm not a
dad.
social media guy. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
Trey, he
Like,
hates. He
I prefer to
hates.
see people face to face. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that
saying?
nigga
If I'm
hates
see you
social media.
every now and again, I'll
He hit
drop
me
some
up and be
shit.
like, yo, you gonna run the? I'm like, nigga, you gotta help, motherfucker.
With the Instagram.
Like, I ain't with all that. You know what I mean? I ain't with all that social
The
media
moment I
shit.
gotta start tagging shit, hashtag this. I'm like,
You
y'all
like me?
lost
I
me.
barely. You
Nigga,
see, I didn't know how to
hashtag-
say that video.
Hey, you recording? Sleep, you missed it. She was trying to get on live. She like, I think it's recording. Is this recording?
It was not recording at all.
It didn't record at all?
At first, it
Oh,
wasn't.
I was about to say, oh shit, we did a whole show and it didn't get recorded.
So Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, so the homie AB Abraham McDonald, rest in peace, man. He's a good dude, real good dude. He reached out to me. He said some crazy shit to me too, man. I miss that guy, but he the first message he sent me, he was like, "Yo, I need something that sounds like, Lauryn Hill meets Busta Rhymes, but like with like a dash of Kanye West."
Mm.
I was just like, "What?"
You gotta think about that.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, what? what do you want? And then, I didn't even know what it was for. I didn't know who he worked with, and really, it was for his artist. He had an artist that he was trying to develop, but he was working with my boy Prince Boyd. Shouts out to Prince. He was like the GM of Prince's company, and Prince is like the music director for Black Eyed Peas, like from the very beginning, from day one he's been around, right? And so I sent whatever I wanted to send because I didn't know what that sounded like, so I just sent over some stuff. And I guess he played it, and he hit me back, and he was like, nah, this is not really quite what I'm looking for. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't even know this dude, right? So the next day he hit me back again, and he was like, yo, can you come down to LA for a meeting? And I was like
I thought you ain't like my shit.
And so I guess he was playing the music, and I guess Prince walked by, and I guess he heard it, and he was like, yo, like, who made that? Who made this? This kid from Bakersfield, da, da, da. So they hit me up, and I was already kind of burnt out because I came down and met with several different people, and one of the really big producers, somebody I actually had looked up to at the time, still, but like they offered me a really bad contract. And I went and
you knew it was a bad contract.
Yeah, I knew it. I mean, he was 5 hours late, which is
damn.
I sat there. I sat in the hallway of the studio, and I waited. I waited 5 hours because I drove 2 hours here.
Right, he was like, nigga, I ain't leaving. Like, I'm want me go get something to eat? Because I'm not going nowhere.
And that's just how hungry I was at the time. So I just looked at it like, oh, this shit's paying dues, right? Like, like whatever the case, whatever he got going on, I'm not gonna let this get to me mentally because this might be my opportunity.
Right.
And so I sat in the hallway for 5 hours. He showed up, talked to me for like 15 minutes, told me he liked my music. They gave me a check for $30,000 in a contract, and it was like, all right, cool, like, go ahead, sign this. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna get this looked at.
Right.
And he got a little bit weird about me getting it looked at or whatever. And he was like,
he knew it was some bullshit.
He was like, well, just take the check, whatever, da 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 da, whatever. So I left the check.
Right. It was like, yeah, you ain't about to have me on you some shit.
Yeah, I left the check. I ain't had no money. I left the check.
And you left the check.
But the thing is, I was just gonna say, nigga, that had to be hard to walk away from 30,000 just sitting in your face like, nigga, you like, damn.
But at the same time, you knew your worth.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just not even financial worth. I knew like my worth as a man.
Right.
And
that's what I'm talking about. No, I'm not talking about money.
Feel right.
Yeah,
I'm talking about as you like, nah, like I'm not selling out like that.
I didn't like the way that the whole thing felt, and it just was like
5 hours late. You know what I mean? $30,000 check. You want me to sign something, and you
scared to get it looked at.
Now you sketchy about me getting it looked at.
We didn't even have a real conversation. You talked to me real briefly. You already got a check printed out for me. Like, yeah,
right.
I held the check. I looked at it. I looked at it a few more times.
I would have held it too.
I don't want to make it sound like just like I'm.
He looking at the check,
like I just
looking
bounced.
at the pen and the paper, like.
I rubbed it. I rubbed the check.
He said, "This shit real, nigga. This shit says
I can do a whole lot with this bread right now."
But,
so what happened after that?
I bounced and I went back home, and I was just like, cause I was already like, in Bakersfield, I was already kind of like doing my thing there, so I was making a little bit of money or whatever, but. I kind of felt like big fish in a small pond, right? And so then that's when AB reached out to me, and he told me that Prince from Black Eyed Peas wanted to meet up with me, and I'm like, Black Eyed Peas, like I wasn't making pop music yet,
right?
So I was like, Black Eyed Peas, and all I could think about was how much my baby sister Rhianna, used to play that record. Let's Get It Started, and just be in her room was next to mine.
Yes, man. I had the whole CD. I had Ernie CD. When that CD dropped, it was playing on my CD player loud.
Man, I was not into it yet, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna come down here and meet up with him. And I got down here. He opens the door. He's got on like shutter shades. He's got like blonde dress. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this dude's kind of weird. And plus,
right.
I already didn't really know people out here. I already would hear like, oh, people out here, the record business is shady and this and that. So I showed up to this dude. I had my backpack. I had my strap in my backpack. And so he answers the door and he dancing. I was just like, I'm clearly not gonna need this. Like,
I'm gonna put this back.
Cool.
I'm clearly not gonna need this shit.
And so we went in there and I was playing the music and he was playing me music. He was like standing up on the desk dancing. I was like, yo, like I don't know what this is, but it feel genuine. You know what I mean? Because I like people like I don't care if you a gangster, whatever it is you are. I like if you're that.
Right,
you living in that, and so like I'm
be
like,
that,
be that, and that's exactly who he was. Like Prince is definitely exactly who he is. Like, and so he was like, look, he's like, I don't got that much money to sign you and this and that, but I will give you like the opportunity and this and that and all this other stuff. And then he was also like, I'm not doing a deal where I'm taking your publishing. Like, this is strictly like, in-house, and you're an ideas guy. Like, why don't you just coming up with ideas, kick us a bunch of ideas and stuff like that. And so I did it, and changed my life. So it was a dope situation.
Man,
God's plan.
they had you going everywhere. How do you feel about the new girl that took over for Fergie?
There's a new girl? Oh my gosh. Don't even tell me.
She from LA. She from LA actually.
I don't care.
I think that if it's a new girl, it's no longer like Black Eyed Peas. I feel like Black Eyed Peas, it has to be Fergie has to be involved for it to be Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
And that's no diss to the new singer or whatever.
Right,
I haven't followed much of the music, just been in my own space and stuff. But I hope
I
she's
ran
doing
in the
well.
wheel about a month ago because I cut his brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been cutting them for years, but I never met him before.
Right.
So I'm over there in the truck. His nigga goes walking by. He came, he jumped. He's like, yo, this shit is dope as fuck. And then he looked at me and said, what's your plan? I said, I'm working on it. He said, yeah, you need like a fleet of these motherfuckers. I'm like, nigga, you want to go into business, nigga?
I'm about to franchise this shit, nigga. Let me hire some people.
Come on.
Yeah, that shit was dope, though. I was like, yeah, it's nice meeting you.
So-
Actually, I'm working on trying to get him on the show.
That'd be dope. And then so you kind of, as of recently, you've been working with BTS.
Absolutely, my favorite group.
Man, so let's listen. Let's talk about BTS. You know who BTS is?
I've heard that.
The like they do like K-pop. Like
Yep. I know somebody that's actually obsessed with them.
yeah.
There you go.
My brother's sister. She's obsessed with them.
Hey, this is their guy, right?
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
So let's talk about what happened with the whole BTS situation. With that.
Actually, this tie into what we were talking about earlier. So, because I got on their flight and went to Korea
On Memorial
Weekend, one of the A&Rs at FNC, we formed a really good working relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, she left FNC and went to Big Hit, which is the label that BTS is signed to.
Oh,
So because she remembered how good that camp went and she really liked my music, when BTS was working on the last album, I was doing a lot of content at the time, and she saw some of the stuff I was doing, and she was like, "Hey, like we need a urban record for BTS that sounds like this," and she gave me like a description of what she wanted, and then I cooked up the song, and it's been the biggest song of my career so far. So
man.
and that
Man.
all
Yeah.
came from being ready and just being grateful for the opportunities that get presented to you, because
Absolutely.
they didn't have to think of me to go to Korea. Like, they honestly, they didn't. I was really just like,
Yeah.
best abilities
And what
availability.
is that my time?
That's my time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
they're big out. They're starting to get big out here too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Listen, they big. They're worldwide.
The biggest
And
group
I
in the
don't, even
world.
listen, I don't even listen to them, and I know who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
me
me
neither.
either.
Me neither.
Me
But I
either.
know who they are.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Sleep has been able to work with groups that's they're like worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Artists.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
working with Black Eyed Peas and
Yeah,
then
that's
going to like
history.
and then
Yep.
like going
That's
to
like-
BTS and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so how are they? How was it working with them?
It was great, and everybody was they're very well versed when it comes to music. They were a little bit different than some of the other groups I work with in the sense of they're hip hop kids. Like, they love hip hop. Like, the whole label, even the CEO, he's a big hip hop head, right?
Mm-hmm.
The leader of the group, he's a big hip hop head. Like, he's got a song with Wale for his solo projects. Like, he loves hip hop. That's RM. And they're like really into making the music. It's not like I created an idea and I just drop it and then they show up and like just do a carbon copy of what I left for them.
Right.
It's they're taking whatever song we wrote and they're translating it into something that has a little substance, meaning for them, and they're not just translating the lyrics. They get the melody as a guide, but then they rewrite the song. So it was real collaborative in the sense of like, it's one of those instances where everybody is happy with what has been created by the time you're done making the song.
That's
Right.
like my
That's
body
not
is.
always the case.
Right, yeah, because I remember you. I think you was telling me something about they write their own music. They don't like people to write for them.
Yeah, the rappers in the group, like when we do the songs, like, you know, we'll do all the melody parts for the singers and stuff, but then like we'll like throw a little rap verse in there and hope that they use it, and like never. They like on some hip hop shit. Like, nah, we wwriting our own lyrics.
Yo, I love it.
RM,
I love it.
That's dope.
It's like can't nobody
Like,
tell you
nah,
how I really
right.
wanna do this
How I
shit.
want to
Like,
express this.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Cool.
so you sold over 20 million records worldwide,
That sounds crazy.
nigga.
That's
That's
crazy.
goals.
You know what I mean? Since 2005, you got to think. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
that's
crazy.
18 years, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And you sold over 20 million. So you sold more than 1 million worldwide. You know what I mean? Since you've been in the game. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And you work with people like shit. We already said BTS.
Black Eyed Peas.
Like you got Rhianna, you got
Rihanna?
Gucci, you got Gucci Man, you got Eric Bellinger,
Yeah, yeah.
Jake
That's-
Paul who fighting,
Shouts
I was
out-
gonna talk about that.
Shouts out
Yeah,
to
yeah,
shouts out to Jake, man.
Gigs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you work with Mike Will Made It, YG. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like working with now with these artists. As you being a producer, are you actually in there with these artists that I just named, just in case something needs to get tweaked? You know, you drop the beat, bring it back in type shit. Like,
Yeah, even if I'm not in there at the beginning, I'm in there at the end
right,
because
right.
I'm the finisher. Like I'm gonna make sure that this shit sound how it's supposed to sound before everybody else hears it. And so yeah, like sometimes I'm in the studio, sometimes it's internet. Like Gigs was. He's a great artist from the UK. I don't know if a lot of people in America know him. I think Drake shed a nice light on Gigs over the past couple of years.
Okay.
He put him on a couple records, but he's huge over there in
Yeah.
the UK. And that was over
I
the
was-
internet, but
So I want to ask you, like, what was like that moment in time, that song that you heard that made you say, I want to
still DRE, still yeah. I was sitting at the back of the school bus, bro, and like everybody was on there. You know, the school bus. Everybody roasting each other. It's just like the cafeteria.
Right,
Everybody
yeah,
in there
right.
getting cooked.
Especially in the back of the school.
Yeah, everybody out there getting cooked, and we were balling up paper, throwing at each other. Like it was like, you know, all that was going on. But like in Bakersfield, we didn't have like a hip hop radio station for a long time. Like when I grew up, it was called KUZZ. It was a country music station. So I knew all Garth Brooks songs. I knew all that shit.
Yeah, see,
And I didn't even listen to it. You just
yeah, but you know it because that's the only station you got.
I'm
But
gonna just
you
listen
just-
to
If
this.
it wasn't CDs or tapes,
Yeah, no, it wasn't no internet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wasn't no,
CD
wasn't no
player.
iHeart. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we didn't have a hip hop radio station for until maybe I was probably like in 5th, 6th grade. We started to get more stations that had hip hop, and that was the only way to access it unless you went and bought the cassette or you know, you remember the jukebox, you used to watch
Right,
that and
right,
watch
right.
the videos and stuff. So watching the videos or getting the cassette was the only way we would be able to consume this. And we had got a hip hop radio station finally, and I was on the bus and like Still DRE came on. I swear to God, it sounded like dramatic, but it's like I couldn't hear nothing else. Like everybody
It's
around-
zoned
you know,
out.
Just picture a kid at the back of the bus, and people are throwing stuff in slow motion, and people getting roasted and everything. I can't hear nothing. All I
Like
can
an
hear
Apple
is this
commercial.
beat. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like all I
That's
can hear is
crazy.
this beat.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that's the thing. Like it was the piano thing, but and everybody knows that piano lick that
Right.
Scott Storch did, but it wasn't even that. It was so much. It's so much stuff in that beat. Like that's probably like one of the most incredible.
you should
productions
probably
of
do
all time.
like a promo video of that same situation, but of now with getting on like an actual like bus. You know what I mean? With you
Yeah.
being older, all the shit that's going on, and then you just throw your headphones on, and then it's like your beat playing and
I
shit.
wish
and
I,
you just
I
zone
wish
out.
I wish I had like producer ears where I can hear the things, because there are so many things that I miss in songs that like I may catch years later. Like, damn,
Yeah.
I ain't
ain't
never
even
heard that
Same,
shit. I'm like,
same.
That's what
the whole time.
Yep.
I thought everybody heard it like that. That was the thing. I would tell my friend, I'd be like, oh, on this side of the headphone, you hear this little do 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 do,
Yeah.
like and like,
Yeah.
and like, oh, I didn't notice that. I'm like, you didn't, and
Like,
That's
nigga,
like what you would
listen,
offset.
I wish I had.
Right, yeah, I'm telling you. Listen, me personally, because
there are
I
so many
did
things
music,
in
so I
music
listened to every little thing in between. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person
I mean, I did
rap
music
to
too,
the
but-
I rap to the beat. You know what I mean? I let the beat talk to me, and then I'll write my lyrics to that.
Like for me, like even when I used to rap, like there was typically one thing in that whole track that I would really listen to and write my lyrics to.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But there's so many things, because my boy Chopin used to be able to nigga be hitting them buttons. I used to see that light flash. I'm like, nigga, like, why is he hitting so many buttons? I only hear. You know what I'm saying? Then later on, I'm like, oh shit, I never heard that.
But you know, it's crazy. If you listen to producers, when producers rap, they always rap in different pockets. That's why producer rappers are kind of unique. Like you hear Kanye,
Right.
Yeah, listen to how
Right.
Pharrell, every time
Pharrell, I was
Yep.
about to say
Pharrell be
Pharrell.
skating, he be in different pockets because you hear everything.
Swiss.
You know who else used to do it? Jermaine Dupri. Because you know what
Oh,
Jermaine
yeah,
Dupri
yeah,
used
yeah.
to do? Whenever his verse come up, he dropped the beat.
Right.
You go back and listen.
He got to.
Go
He got.
back
Damn, I ain't
and
never
listen
paid
to
attention
it.
to that. I gotta listen to that.
What was that? The White Tea joint, the remix.
Yep.
When his verse come in, the whole beat
Beat
kind of
just
get
drop.
quiet, and it switch up. He bring an 808 in. He like, I'm about to decorate my verse. You know?
Right, yeah,
You know?
shit. I got. You got to do certain things. Studio magic. You know what I'm saying? To make shit happen.
Yeah, but that's still DRE. That was the one, man. It was that one, and then it was and there was another one. It was oddly enough, it was Dust Yourself Off and Try Again. The Aaliyah,
Yeah.
Timberland beat. Man, that beat was
Yourself off and
so
try again.
still like I hear that beat and I'm still like, what the fuck was this nigga on? He made like
Yeah.
that beat's still crazy.
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
me.
that shit was crazy.
That's
How was it?
relevant.
How was it working with Rihanna? Like, did she have like a certain ambiance that she liked? You know what I'm saying? When you came,
I've been around Rihanna a couple times, and she's always been great. Some of those situations, like the Rihanna one, that was when I was still doing a lot of the ghost production stuff.
Yeah.
So I was, involved in the room, but I wasn't being introduced properly.
Right.
You know,
Right. It's like, nigga, this my beat.
That's like Lil Dicky on this TV show.
Like I can't meet Riri. You know what I'm saying? Fenty.
But yeah,
Right.
she was
Come
dope.
on
She
now.
killed it. I was actually also around her when she came to New Zealand when I was living down in New Zealand, and she had got a native tattoo down there, and some of my
Oh, yeah?
homies did it. Yeah, I mean the old school way where they take
Yeah,
the
I
little thing with the
see.
ink. And
So
she
is that-
took it like a G, like she like yeah. It took
So
like
is
a
that
long
crazy
time.
to actually see her after that, and then you see Rihanna be like, yeah, I made like 3 of your songs, right? You know
Oh yeah, we've talked.
and she be like, that was you. Like,
I've had that.
I
you
tried
know
to
what?
meet you and shit, but
You know what? I've had that conversation with a couple artists.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
how was that? Like when they finally find out, like, damn,
I
you
mean,
made my
it
shit.
Just it wasn't really like me trying to be like, I'm not trying to expose nobody or nothing. It was just like,
Right.
yeah, I was involved in that and like letting them, and they know how you work in the business, you know how this go.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really like no, big reveal, but they were always receptive. Like, oh, I love that was one of my favorite songs. That's happened like multiple times with different artists. Like, oh, I love that song. Like, yo, take my number, send me some stuff, and that's what the response has always been. So,
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. With doing the stuff that you do and all the people that you work with, I would like to thank you for actually recording me. Because this shit, know what I mean, because what I did, we did like 3 songs, and then you hooked me up with Blue.
Yep.
Oh, was it
You
the
know what
Bobby
I'm saying?
Smurder song that you was
I
doing?
still trying to be a damn rapper.
No, I'm not trying to be a rapper. I'm
There
just
you
saying.
go.
Know what I mean,
It's
like
never
I
gonna
write.
go, Trey.
Listen, I write. I write. Know what I mean, like I'm telling you,
Enjoy yourself, my nigga.
I used to do this shit, bro, and I just got burnt out.
Well, he was the thing is like he was already cutting my hair, and I was like, oh, that's a nice guy, you know what I mean? I
Back
came
to
to
the-
the studio and recorded a
back to
song
the
like that. This
chair
nigga
hopping.
crazy.
Back to the chair hopping.
I'm like, we just got to the hook. He killed
Sleep.
3 niggas before we got to the hook.
Listen, Sleep had a barber relationship with every barber in our damn shop, probably except for Dion, nigga. This nigga, Sleep done been with everybody. He was with Dice, he was with G, he was with me, he was with Smoke.
Look, man, sometimes, like I said, when I went to Korea for Memorial Day, the best ability is availability sometimes.
Hey,
Like,
I get it.
I might come in there and like, and then, sometimes like I was going to G first, I think.
Yep.
And then G, I'll be like, yo, G, like, can I get a cut? I'm in DC. Like he'd be gone. I'll be like,
Right.
well, all right, who's capable? And he'd be like, all right, Trey. And I'll be like, all right, Trey, can you cut me? And like, all y'all got you. I'm supporting black business. Fuck y'all.
I appreciate it.
Right.
Black businesses out here.
So y'all know Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul got a fight tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
nice.
saying?
I can't wait
That's
for that.
tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that shit. That's gonna be fun. Floyd gonna knock that nigga head off.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
I
a
was
lot,
fast.
a lot of people thinking that Floyd because there's 8 3-minute rounds and there's no judges. So basically, social media and other people is gonna be the judge on who actually won the fight. So a lot of people thinking that he gonna let him play around with him, get
So
his
what
money's
Floyd
worth to the
said
4th
was-
round.
So what Floyd said was, first of all,
What'd he say?
He said he's scheduled to make anywhere from $50 to $100 million for this fight. He said he's already up somewhere already around 30, and he ain't even stepped into the ring yet. So
Crazy.
he said, which that financially is a win-win. He said, however, in the same take, he's in a lose-lose situation. Because he said, if I knock this nigga out in the first round, people gonna be like, shit, that shit wasn't worth it. He's like, but then he said, then if I let it go on, If he gonna like, he let a YouTuber, you know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he's in a dilemma on what he gonna do. If he gonna try to bing this nigga
That's why
right
I
out the
said
gate.
that's why a lot of people saying the 4th round. They think, he might, do what he got to
Bang
do,
on
body
him.
shot or whatever.
It'd
the
be
fuck it
funny
may
if that nigga
But he a
just
big
had the
dude
lucky
though. Like
punch,
he's bigger than Floyd.
Oh, for sure.
You know
They
what I'm
gotta
saying?
get
So,
their money's in though.
Nigga,
So,
we
of course
talking
they
about
gotta entertain.
experience though, nigga. Listen,
Yeah.
we talking about Pacquiao couldn't beat this nigga. Motherfucking Canelo couldn't beat this nigga. Y'all really think Jake Paul got any kind of a chance? Jake Paul, even though he ain't got no chance, but that nigga, he is great at what he does with his promotion.
I mean, you said you could
seriously.
be. You said
nigga like the new Chris Jenner, boy. I'm
You
telling
said
that
you
nigga's
could.
amazing,
You said
nigga.
that you could beat Ronda Rousey because you way bigger than her.
I will
So what
fuck
make
Ronda Rousey
exactly?
up.
So what makes
I
you
don't
think?
give- nigga,
What makes you think this Paul nigga don't think
this
that
is
since he's so
boxing,
big that he can
though.
catch him with a body
Nigga,
shot? You know what I'm
listen,
saying?
this
And
is
break him
boxing.
down or
We talking about
hit him
Floyd
with a
Mayweather,
haymaker.
undefeated. Ronda Rousey done already been knocked out by some bitches, nigga. So
I mean, yeah.
you know what I mean, nigga.
But you're not trained in.
I will listen. I'll say it right on camera. Everybody, y'all want to show Ronda Rousey this shit? Listen, Ronda Rousey, I will fuck you up. I don't care. Any of
She
them
gonna come get
UFC
you.
women, I don't give a fuck. I will fuck y'all up. 130 pounds. I'm 200 pounds. I get my hands on you. It's over.
Ronda Rousey.
Period. I don't give a damn. She ain't gonna. Hey, listen. I refuse to lose to a small woman, brother.
What you think gonna happen? Sleep.
Tonight,
Yeah.
I think Floyd gonna carry him for a few rounds and then put him down. He too good, man. He's the best to ever do this.
Ocho Cinco supposed to fight.
Yeah, who's
Who,
he fighting?
tonight?
Yeah, he's one of the undercards.
Who he fighting?
You want to know? He was supposed to fight somebody, and then I guess that kind of got messed up, and now he's supposed to be. I guess they got somebody else for him to fight.
Listen.
I said Ocho Cinco, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm gonna tell you. What's my nigga name? That got knocked out last time.
Nate.
Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson has that nigga has killed all of my all of my enthusiasm or belief in black athletes that y'all gonna beat these motherfuckers. Like, I just don't believe.
I mean,
no
if
more.
Jake Paul can do it, then you know.
I mean, but boxing is boxing.
Yeah,
boxing is
Jake
boxing.
Paul is training in boxing.
Yeah.
Nate Robinson, listen, I said Nate
So
Robinson.
Logan
listen.
Paul is supposed to fight the nigga. What's his name?
No, Logan Paul is fighting tonight.
Logan
So
Paul
Jake
fighting
Paul is
tonight.
supposed to fight.
Yeah.
What's the dude?
Them
Tyrone
niggas is
Woodley.
one and the same.
Woodley?
to me.
Tyrone Woodley.
Woodley, yeah. Man, and so Woodley, he's a UFC fighter, right?
He's a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
But he can punch.
Yeah.
You know.
He's one of those puncher UFC
That's who he
fighters.
fight. He fighting tonight.
No. They
fight
setting
in
that
August.
fight up.
They fight in August.
Yeah.
end of August.
Okay.
But yeah, that's gonna be a good fight for Jake. I think everybody will learn a little bit more about how skilled he is as a boxer, whether he is
Is he taking it serious enough?
Me personally, I've always said that I think that when it comes to hands, like, no, I don't think any UFC fighter can really hang with a boxer when it comes to just punching.
Right.
But they get into a fight in the alley, you know, it's a different story. But when it just comes to punching and how you got to place your punches, and you know, boxing is a tough sport.
The boxer has the advantage because that's what he's trained to do. He's not trained to do
Absolutely.
none of those other things. I'm trained to just throw punches. Whether UFC niggas, they can throw punches, but I can also kick your ass in your fucking head.
Right.
So I think a boxer is always going to have an advantage over a UFC, even if it's a star.
See, now I think it would be an even fight if nigga anything goes, kind of like some Street Fighter type shit. Remember how the motherfuckers you had the little boxing nigga on there?
Nigga, that's UFC.
I remember Muhammad
but
Ali did that.
Huh?
Muhammad Ali, when he went over to, I think he went to Japan somewhere. He fought the kickboxer,
Oh, word.
and he got kicked in the leg 100 and something times. Almost had blood clots in his leg.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, I didn't realize how severe them leg kicks was. So one day I was watching this shit, nigga, and this nigga just kept bow, bow. And I'm literally just watching this nigga's leg turn purple. Like, this nigga about to lose this motherfucker. Like,
But did you see the one when the dude kicked him and his whole shit?
you
split?
talking about what's my nigga from Brazil? Anyway.
Man, yeah.
Anderson Silva, but it just happened
Anderson
again
Silva.
like last
He
month.
kicked that
Oh,
shit.
word,
last
the
year.
dude-
The dude
Yeah,
Anderson Silva was fighting Weidman. It happened to him.
Yeah, he kicked him and his whole shit.
It kicked him and his leg bent.
Yo, I was like,
cartoon.
Yo, what the fuck?
like
Trying to fight Ronda
spaghetti.
Rousey, she gonna kick you.
That's crazy.
She's like,
Man,
But
listen, I told you,
they
once
got,
I get in
they got
close,
the
it's
rematch
over.
of the Deontay Wilder in Fury, July 29th, I think it is.
Again.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I mean, but what they said was what they said was
Deontay ain't
they
ready for
said
Fury, bro.
Fury was cheating. They said he had something in his gloves because he said his face was fractured, and the doctor said this can't be from a regular boxing punch. Like he has something.
I don't know how much. I don't know how much I believe that. I think that.
I don't either.
I'm just saying what was said.
Niggas just want to make an
I mean,
excuse.
we can debate
like,
about
nigga,
it.
Like, nigga, they inspect their gloves. They do a whole lot. We talking about a championship fight. They not just letting him get in there with shit in his gloves.
You want to know what happened? You want to know what happened? You remember the first fight when Deontay knocked him down?
Right.
Nigga,
that was his first time ever being knocked down.
You was there. Okay.
I was there.
So you remember what happened? He went after the second time when he got back up. He started backing Deontay up, and he did that for the rest of the fight. And what happened? It went off in his head. He said, "Oh, he can't fight moving backwards because ain't nobody ever pressed him like that."
I'm gonna tell you like this: I didn't even know who Tyson Fury was before the beginning of that fight. That was my first professional fight live, nigga. When
Tyson
that nigga
Fury's a
listen
motherfucker.
again now. At
Do
first,
that
I'm like
jab
this.
step at you,
Listen, at
trying
first,
to
I'm like
back
this.
back.
By the end of the fight, I'm like, Fury. Like, yo.
I don't like his ass.
I'm a listen, nigga.
I don't like him.
I'm nigga, listen. When that nigga got knocked the fuck out and I'm counting, I'm like, yo, this is about to be over. That nigga jumped up, threw his hands up and did the shuffle. I said, what?
And he
in the
backed him.
fuck?
And he backed him up the
what
rest
in
of the
fuck
fight.
is this? I said, this nigga is crazy.
And he backed him up. He backed him up the
He
rest
really
of the
did.
fight.
He
And
really did.
And then so he went into the second fight. Oh, he can't fight moving back. I'm just gonna press him. And so that's what I think Deontay probably had to work on, is working on being able to because there's a lot of boxers that can't move, especially the power punches, because people usually moving out their way.
With 3 fights, like Deontay feel like he got something to prove. You know what I'm saying? He should have took the first fight and took his
Or
ass
try to
on.
knock
Like,
his
nah, I'm
ass
cool.
out.
Like, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But instead,
It's a video of Tyson Fury working out in his living room, right? He's 6'9", almost 6'10". He's working, he's throwing punches, slipping, moving, and not touching no furniture. I don't know if you understand like how
right.
like agile this nigga is to be 6'9". And then
hey,
he's
bro, listen, I'm
punching
telling you, the way that nigga was moving on that shit, like, nigga, that nigga.
But he's a lifer.
hey.
His dad was a fighter, and he come from a long line of fighters, so he been fighting his whole life. It's different at that level. When you fight like that, and you've been fighting your whole life, like Floyd been fighting his whole life. His dad, his uncle, all them is fighters. No YouTuber is beating Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match.
Hell
It's not
yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
You know, Tiffany Haddish is about to play FloJo in the movie, in the biopic.
I mean, she would be a good person for it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty dope. So shout out to Tiffany Haddish. Also, too, she's not only she's also a producer on the project.
Stepping on the producer side.
Yeah,
That's
you know what
dope.
I'm saying?
You got some hot seats?
Sure. Let me
I'm gonna put you on the hot seat.
Oh, hot seat.
hot seat questions. Let me think. Cause I want to do some different ones. We've been doing a lot of the same shit lately. Okay, as a producer. All right, now we always do rappers a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask you. She had nothing. So, top 5 R&B groups of all time.
Top 5 R&B groups of all time. Oh man, you know.
I mean,
Okay.
we can go old school Temptations
Old
all the way
school.
up to, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I have a lot of R&B groups I love, but I'm a hip hop kid. You know, I'm a hip hop kid. But I'll
That's
say
why. Listen, that's what makes it a hot seat question, because
Okay,
I know
okay.
you know rap. That's too easy for you. You know what I'm saying?
so. My favorite R&B group of all time, Jodeci.
okay.
Then I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go back 70s and stuff. I feel like I'm not too well versed in the old
Really?
school. I listen to it, but it's to know.
That's the
like,
stuff his
separate
mom
it
had
all.
on when he was
Listen.
cleaning up.
Temptations
Type
is
shit.
listen. I wasn't around for the Temptations,
All
but
right.
they definitely.
I'm gonna go.
I
I'm gonna
heard
go.
him.
I'm gonna go. My 5 favorite groups, no order. Jodeci, Isley Brothers.
Nice,
I love the OJs.
nice.
I love, y'all might laugh at this, but I love Drew Hill when I was
Nah,
young.
nigga, that's my. I
that's-
like.
listen,
I
hey.
like
Drew Hill, and then I'm gonna go. Excuse me, bump a lot. 112. I used to like 112 a lot.
That was in my category too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
112.
Okay. If you had to, would you walk around naked
Mhm.
for the rest of your life,
Mhm.
or every thought that you had in your mind pops up
I'm
over your
naked.
head like a
I'm naked.
Let me finish. He said, I'm naked, nigga. I'm naked.
I'm not letting no Papa Bubbles show any
I'm
goddamn.
naked.
What you got, Dice? You got one?
I'm naked.
If you had to save one.
Hold on, before you, I'm also a Scorpio too, because I think some of the stuff I be thinking is just wrong sometimes. But
Hey,
all right.
listen,
If-
I'm going naked with you, dog. Like,
Yeah,
I can't have that. Hey.
Pause, but yeah.
Besides yourself,
He said,
besides yourself, If you had to save one producer, you know, to work with to save music, would it be Kanye West or would it be Pharrell? And remember,
to save music.
they're gonna work with you too because you're in there. You know what I mean? But you need somebody else. Who would it be that you want to work with to save music?
These are two of my Mount Rushmore producers right here,
See,
right?
this is why it's
Makes it a hot seat.
Yeah, no, I got it. Those are two of my favorites. But
And explain why.
I would go Pharrell because I met both of them, and Pharrell is Pharrell, and he's awesome. He's chill. I think with Kanye, you don't know what Kanye.
You don't know what you gonna get. That day sure like,
You don't know
yo.
what Kanye you
I
gonna
told
get that
That's what I'm
day.
saying.
I told you I have my Prozac today, nigga.
And he showed up with the MAGA hat. That I'm not working that day. I'm just like, you're not working. Take that off.
Right. You show up with a white tee and some Yeezys, nigga. And you
Show
good.
up looking like me. We gonna make some magic, you know. But
I'm
yeah,
trying to think of one more.
I'm trying to think of something. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got one. Okay, if you could find out one of these things to be true, would you find out A, if OJ did it, or B, Michael Jackson did it?
OJ.
You ready? You can't. You don't want to look at my.
The reason why is because I can live with that one more than I can live with the other one.
You can't live with knowing that Mike was molesting kids, but you'll
yeah.
take OJ kill somebody.
I mean, shit happens, and not to say like it should, but like
Right.
a domestic disputes, like it's not the first one, it's not the
Look,
last
I'm
one.
gonna give you some insight. Both of them niggas did it.
Mike didn't touch them kids.
Both them niggas
Mike did
did
not
it.
touch-
Shit,
Mike-
y'all crazy as hell.
Mike did not
Sleep,
touch
I be
them
telling these
kids.
niggas, listen, if you want to entrap somebody, you understand what I'm saying? Like, if I know I want to hang out with my niggas, you know what I'm saying, and niggas like basketball, I'm going to build a bunch of basketball courts. They're like, yo, come hoop with me, you know what I'm saying? If I know ladies like certain things, I'm going to bank that shit like, hey, come hang out with me. If I want to hang out with a bunch of kids, I'm going to build a fucking amusement park in the backyard. Like, come to daddy.
Stop.
And we know OJ did that shit. That's for damn sure. OJ jumped out like, bitch, didn't I tell your ass?
Right.
I seen a crazy theory about that was saying that
The son did it.
because they were saying that the DNA match was partial. It's been all
Fuck all
kind of
that shit, nigga. OJ did that shit.
So
Listen.
so look, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say so. Before we wrap it up, my daughter got some stuff that she want to give to you. So
Dope.
if you want to explain to him what this is that you want to give to him,
Yeah, so me and my business partner, we make organic and handmade beauty products for women, men, babies, like dogs, literally.
okay.
So we make face and body oils, and we make body butters as well. And we also do scrubs too.
Okay.
This is just some stuff that I have brought, but here we have is our sandalwood vanilla body butter, and then I have face oil here, which is like kind of
Awesome.
has less oil. It's a sensitive one, so I don't know how your skin type
That's
is or
perfect
whatever,
for
but that's
me,
something good
yeah.
to start off with. We have beard oils and beard pomades and everything. So we have a lot. We have like doggy palm balms and
Sick.
like oils, cold oils for them and irritating stuff.
Do you have a Twitter for your business?
Yeah, I do. I have this is actually it's a little thank you card. But you can scan that pop, it'll take you right to our business information.
So every once a month on Twitter, I do like a black business boost.
Oh yeah.
And the last
Okay.
one that I did, we did like I forgot how the businesses who told me how much money they made. I think we did like $5,000
Oh,
on
wow.
a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like every on a random Sunday, I'll just wake up and I'll be like, all right, we supporting black businesses.
Right.
Drop
Yeah, we do
links
that.
here.
Saturdays support. Shout out Saturdays. We like share the different type of black.
so
owned
what he's
businesses.
saying is basically he gonna try to
Yeah, to
squeeze
shout us
y'all
out.
in.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah,
us
No, I'm
out.
gonna plug you out
Yeah,
on the
of
next
course,
one I
thank
do.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'll start with your
appreciate that.
guys' and get some orders going.
That's
Cool.
what's up,
Thank
that's
you.
what's up.
Thank you.
Hell
I hope
yeah.
you enjoy
And
it.
then look, after them, then you can put Man Cave Mobile Barber in line too.
Okay. I didn't know you was moving around too.
Oh man, you know, listen, sleep. I'm all over the place in my van.
Oh here. I got you. You put it in the bag. This your shit.
Dude,
All right,
give me this.
So let the people know where they can follow you, where they can, you know what I'm saying, where they can find you on all the social media spots and all that.
Yes, at Sleep D's everywhere, and then on Instagram it's at Sleep Vision. But if you type in Sleep D's, it'll still pop up.
Right.
And
Spell that for them so they don't be
Sleep SLEEP space DEEZ.
D-E-E-Z.
Sleep
D's.
Yep.
All right,
Sleep
and
these
also
nuts.
too, y'all know if y'all want to get in touch with us, you can drop us a line on an email at btldpodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Barbershop Talk Like This _ between each word, and also on YouTube, Barbershop Talk Like This.
And on all podcast platforms, just type up Barbershop Talk like this with a DISS. And every Wednesday we drop a new episode.
All right, Sleep, we like to thank you, man, for coming through and hanging out with us, man, kicking it with us. You know what I'm saying? Lex, it's been dope having you in, filling in for Kush, punk
you.
ass, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, you know, his son had a tournament.
Nah, yeah,
so.
you know. Still, nigga, fuck you, punk ass, nigga. You ain't gonna change my shit, nigga. All right, this has been another episode of Barbershop Talk Like This. I'm your host, Trey the Barber.
And this your other host, Dice the Barber.
And it's your other host, Lex.
Peace, sleep.
Sleep D's, and we out this bitch.
Peace.